Hello and welcome to math, where today we're going to learn some percent of change. Okay, so percent of change, there's a formula you want to use to find percent change. And it's a pretty easy formula, and you'll see after we do a couple examples, you'll pick up on it pretty quickly. All right, and the formula is new minus old divided by old. This is a fraction bar here. So it's new minus old divided by old. All right, and that's going to give us a decimal. And the way we change decimals to percents is we multiply it by 100. So we're going to do new minus old divided by old, and then times that by 100. Okay, so there's two different types of percent change. There's percent increase, and when percent increase is that the percent that something goes up by, right? And percent decrease is the percent something goes down by. Percent increase and decrease are used a lot, and especially like with companies and businesses when they're trying to see like, all right, like, or what are our sales for this month from compared to last month? Did we increase? How much did we increase by? What's the percentage? Did we decrease? Oh man, we did decrease. We went down in sales. What's the percentage that we dropped in? How can we raise our percentage? Right. So percent increase and decrease are super important in life. All right, and the way we remember how to solve these, it's the same way for both of them. New minus old divided by old. New minus old divided by old. And then when you do that, it's going to give you a decimal. And the way we change a decimal to a percent is because percents are out of 100, is we times it by 100. So new minus old divided by old, and then we times by 100. All right, so let's do some examples together. All right, example one here, percent increase. So we got to remember our formula. New minus old divided by old. And then we're going to times by 100. Okay? So it went from 25 to 49. So 25 is my old, 49 is my new. Because it went from 25, it started at 25 and went to 49. So 49 is my new, so I'm going to plug that into my formula. It's my new 49 minus my old 25 over 25. All right? So 49 minus 25. 49 minus 25 is 14. So that gives me 14. So then it'll be 14 divided by 25. 14 divided by 25. 14 divided by 25 gives me 0.56. Okay, so that is not a percent yet, that is a decimal. So to change a percent to a decimal, I got to times this by 100. All right, so I times that by 100, and I can just do that in my calculator while it's still in there, times 100, and that gives me 56. So this would be 56%. So remember, new minus old divided by old. Okay, so let's try this next one. Susie purchased a daily planner for $32. The wholesale cost was $25. What was the percent markup? All right, so the wholesale cost is what the store buys it for, so that is our old. That is our old. Let me change the colors up here. All right, she bought it for $32. That is our new. All right, so it'd be new 32 minus old 25 divided by old 25. 32 minus 25 gives me 7, so that gives me 7 over 25. All right, so I can put that in my calculator. 7 divided by 25 gives me 0.28. All right, so that is not a percent yet, that's a decimal. So to change that to a percent, I got to multiply this by 100. And 0.28 times 100 gives me 28%. Okay, so that's a 28% increase. All right, let's do one more example. Bottled water costs $1.25. Okay, the price is the markup from the wholesale cost of 20 cents. What is the markup as a percent? So the company makes their bottles of water for 20 cents and they sell them for $1.25. So the original price, or the old price, is 0.20. The new price is $1.25. So we got to do it. New minus old divided by old. So in 1.25 minus 0.20 divided by 0.20. New minus old divided by old. All right, so what's 1.25 minus 0.20? Well, I don't know, but I could use a calculator. 1.25 minus 0.20 gives me 1.05. And then I can divide that by my 0.20. All right, so that's already in my calculator, so I can hit divide by 0.20, and that gives me 5.25. 5.25. All right, so my final step on this, remember, is I have to multiply it by 100. So I got to do 5.25 times 100, and that gives me 525%. So they have a huge markup on bottles of water. Bottles of water are pretty cheap to make, but they sell them at a 525% markup. Okay, so that's percent increase. All right, there's one more example, example 4. You can try that one on your own. Okay, you get it checked by a teacher when you're done. All right, so let's do these ones on the right. These ones are percent decrease. Okay, so percent decrease, we do the exact same thing. We got to figure out what's our old and what's our new, and we do new minus old divided by old. All right, so I went from 50 to 45. So 50 is my old, 45 is my new. So new minus old divided by old. 45 minus 50 will give me -5. -5 divided by 50. Well, I don't know what that is, but thankfully I can use a calculator. So I can do 5 negative divided by 50, and I get -0.1. -0.1. All right, so that is a decimal. I need to make it a percent. So I'm going to times it by 100 and make it my percent, and I get -10. So this is a 10% decrease. Decrease. Right? So we don't usually write the negative. We usually just say decrease. So it'll just be 10% decrease. Okay? All right, so let's try another one. Carlos used a coupon and paid $7.35 for the pizza that normally costs $10.50. Find the percent discount. Okay, so the old price is just $10.50. The new price is just $7.35 because you used a coupon. It was originally this, now it's this. All right, so new 7.35 minus old of 10.50 divided by old divided by 10.50. All right, so what is 7.35 minus 10.50? I don't know, but thankfully I can use a calculator. 7.35 minus 10.50 equals -3.15. All right, now I have to divide that by the old, and the old was $10.50. So I can do that in my calculator. I can just hit divided by 10.50, and that gives me -0.3. All right, so this is a decimal. I got to change it to a percent. So I have to times by 100. Times by 100 gives me 30, -30. So this would be a 30% decrease. 30% decrease. All these ones on the left that we did, these were all positive, right? So these are all increase. So I could write 56% increase for these. I forgot to write that. But it's the same thing. 55%, 56% increase, right? This would be 28% increase. 525% increase, right? When we get a negative, we want to write decrease. Okay, let's do one more. It says Samantha bought a book on sale for $3.60. It was originally $12. What was her discount as a percent? All right, well, what's our new? Our new price is $3.60. That's super on sale. $12 was the original, so that's the old. All right, so we got to do new $3.60 minus old of $12 divided by old. What's 360 minus 12, you might ask? Well, I don't know, but thankfully I can use a calculator. 3.60 minus 12 gives me -8.4. Okay, and now I can divide that by my old. New minus old divided by old. So 8.4 divided by 12 gives me 0.7. So it gives me -0.7. All right, so that is a decimal. I want to make it a percent. So to make it a percent, I got to times by 100, and that is 70. So this was a 70% discount, or 70% decrease. That's a big discount. All right, so that is how we find percent change. All right, percent change is new minus old divided by old. New minus old divided by old. All right, when you do that, it gives you a decimal, just like how all these examples gave us a decimal, right? So we have to multiply by 100 to change it to a percent, because they're looking for the percent of change. They're not looking for the decimal of change. They're looking for the percent of change, right? So it's going to give you a decimal. You multiply it by 100, then you got your answer. All right, there's one more example for percent decrease. It's down here, example number 8. Go ahead, try that on your own. Get it checked by a teacher when you're done. All right, and don't forget, percent of change, new minus old divided by old, and then we times by 100. All right? All right, so that's how we do percent of change. If you ever have a question, ask a teacher. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.